to this first session of the What's New in Google Workspace. We hold these as quarterly sessions, and it feels like the last one we did was a very long time ago. So welcome to this first one for 2026. My name is Simone French. I am the Work Transformation Tribe Lead for EMEA at Dev Team G-Cloud, but also head up the Google Workspace team in the Nordics. Together I do these sessions with my much loved co-presenter, Pablo. Over to you for an info.
So I just realized that I didn't update my role, so that's embarrassing, but we can do that after when you see the slides later, or we can do some magic editing with AI and flows later to edit that. So I'm an AI productivity lead here for EMEA in Dev Team as of this year. So I'm working with a lot of you, I think a lot of you guys on the call in terms of embedding AI and using AI to its fullest in your productivity suites. But in here, joined a bit with Simone for some exciting what's new topics from Google Workspace and AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have any questions, so just some housekeeping rules, pop them into the Q&A. So in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, click on the shapes. I think it's triangle, square, and circle, or you need to open the waffle menu to do that now, actually. But and also check the Q&A first before posting your question, because somebody might have already posted that, and then you can just upvote it by giving it a thumbs up. So we'll check questions intermittently, and then at the end of the session as well. So yeah, let's get started without further ado. As always, we've got some news updates for you, mainly around events. And for this one, Pablo, I'm going to hand over to you.
So, I'd love a show of hands. So don't put your hand up. I know it's tempting to press the hand icon, but more emoji, thumbs up. If you guys have ever heard of or used Jump Cloud. There's like two big hands being raised by Alex. I love it. They're not emojis, which is great. If you haven't, then you might hear the term Jump Cloud used in the near future. There's lots going on with Jump Cloud. For those of you, just a really quick snippet, really helpful tool for filling in some of those gaps for features. For example, Mac management. So Google does do Windows device management. It does do MDM, but it doesn't do Mac device management very well. So Jump Cloud's really good for that kind of area. Also, Jump Cloud is a fantastic tool if you are trying to move away from your on-prem LDAP. Thumbs up if you have an on-prem LDAP. Also, I can understand if you didn't want to put your hand up, because you might be the only one in the call putting your hand up. So for those few businesses that still have an on-prem LDAP and want to move away, we've found that Jump Cloud is a really easy way of transitioning that. It's also a great IDP. So we've been using them a lot recently, and they've come back and said, actually, you guys are doing some great work with us. So we celebrate 2026 with a bit of an award from Jump Cloud. So if you are interested in anything Jump Cloud, please reach out. I'm more than happy to go through the way that works and integrates with Google. Yeah, that's it from Jump Cloud. I'll take this one as well, I suppose. So AI Agent Lab. Thumbs up if you've been to an Agent Lab. 1. Oh, we've got a hand up as well. Good. 2. Okay, 3. I want to see more of those. So if it's not happened in a country near you, it's understandable. We're going across the major cities that we have some presence in to bring you a lab to both understand and review how you can use AI in your business. Great. Oh, you're in the AI lab. So there's an AI lab happening right now in Stockholm. Great. So, it says it on the slide. Come on, Pablo. So you're in there today. Today. If you're in that lab, I see Ere looking over just to the lab. If you're in that lab, good luck and have fun. Those labs are about understanding use cases where you could really further agentic AI agents, how you can make them, how we can support you with making it an MVP, a minimum viable product, so you can walk away with a better understanding of what kind of agents and AI you can make in your business. Please sign up to those if you haven't already. They're fantastic. I think I'm going to be, well, I don't think, Emma's going to get very annoyed if I say I think. I'm going to be the one in London. So I'll see you there if you're joining. So please do join. It's not just watching slides about how AI works in your business, it's getting your hands dirty and understanding the tools as well. So it's really good. Excellent. Register there. Quick grab a snap before we change slide of that QR code if you don't have it. Google Lens, by the way, if you don't have your phone, click Google Lens in Chrome. You can go to that QR code. But you didn't know that. There's a tip for you.
And we will, of course, be sharing the slides afterwards as well. So if you don't manage to catch it, you can grab it afterwards. Thanks. Great tips, Pablo. And another upcoming event, although it's a little bit later on in the year, but pre-register your interest for GCD 2026. GCD stands for Google Cloud Days, and it's our premier or flagship event for the year at Dev-A-Team G Cloud. We had a fantastic event in several cities last year, very well attended. I think we had the highest number of registrations ever in our years of running this event. But it's happening in 8 cities, so whichever city you reside in, please register for it early if you can. I mean, this is the opportunity for you to meet other customers, Googlers. We talk about, you know, the biggest technology shifts that are happening. There'll be panel discussions, expert-led sessions. Many of you on the call have participated in those in previous years. So it really is an opportunity to connect with peers, share ideas, get a bit of inspiration and network. So again, take a scan of this now, otherwise we'll share the deck with you later as well. Good. Just another pitch for an event that is coming up soon. It's called Beyond VMware, happening on the 26th of March online. It's hosted by our infrastructure tribe, together with Google Cloud. And it's an opportunity for you if you are looking to kind of transform your legacy IT infrastructure. So if you are, I don't know, doing maybe a data center exit, or you have anything that you want to deploy with foundations, come along and join the session. It's a really great opportunity for you to get some information and ask our experts live at the event online. Good. Oh, and a plug just for the next one of these. So it's in your calendar. The next quarterly will be happening on May the 28th. So getting in before everyone starts disappearing in June, July, August for summer.
We haven't even done this one. They're already plugging the next one. I've not done this before. I love it. Who slid that slide in? That was cheeky. I like it.
We've got a great marketing team who helps with this. So yeah, if you want to be part of this for the next one, also register for that. Okay. Oh, we're jumping straight into the updates already.
There's way too much to cover to do any more fluffy stuff. We've already done fluffy stuff. I would love a show of hands who has tried this. I tried this for the first time a few weeks ago. My jaw dropped. So this is live speech translation in Meet. This is not caption translation. This is live. I'm going to try something. This is so caveat for all demos today. We are doing them live. AI is not something that does the same thing again twice very often. So I'm going to try this. If it doesn't work, then we're just going to steam past as if it never happened. So you might have something pop up if you're joined by Meet. And let's see if it works. I'm going to go and do English to Spanish. You're going to see a little pop-up saying translation. I'm going to change mine to Spanish and I'm going to hit English. Okay. Ahora voy a hablar en español y me vas a oír en inglés. A ver, dame un dedo si me oyes en inglés. Amazing. Entonces voy a hacer todos los slides que vienen en español y ustedes me pueden oír en inglés. All right, I'm going to turn that off. My mother would not be proud of my Spanish. So you should have heard me in English, even though I was speaking Spanish. I don't know what kind of accent that comes out with in Spanish, but I can tell you that my real Spanish accent is probably nothing like what you heard. It's my original voice. No, did it give my accent as well? That's incredible. Give it a go. It's been fantastic for us in Devo team. We have a French counterpart, we have Swedish, we have Spanish. It's been an absolute game changer. It's actually, we've had feedback of it's increased confidence in being able to talk to other team members. It's connected us closer with more regular calls with teams that weren't very fluent with English. So definitely worth giving it a go if you guys are in more than one country. So the supported languages at the moment are Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Portuguese. I expect with the feedback we're seeing on this feature, I expect that eventually to grow as well. So I hear you, countries that have different languages that are supported, we're waiting and we probably will see some more. But for now, if you have any of those languages listed, definitely give it a go. I would even say maybe do an internal communication to let people know this is an option, because a lot of confusion about whether this is just transcribing captions. It's not. It's live audio that's dubbed, and it's currently not clear that that's the case. Good. All right, thumbs up if you're going to give that a go. Good. Let's see how that works for you. I'm also curious how many people work with different languages. This is great. And this one's for you, Simone.
It is indeed. Thanks, Pablo. So, and this is really cool because I like this one because this update prioritizes the human connection, right? So it allows users to view shared content and meeting participants at the same time. So by moving presentations to a secondary window or a separate window, it allows you to kind of maintain that visual engagement and allow for, you know, better interpretation of the non-verbal cues, so those visual cues that are really important. So yeah, essentially users no longer have to choose between seeing a slide deck or their colleagues. You can now pop out the shared content as you're seeing in the GIF on the screen to a second window or a separate window, right, or a floating picture-in-picture window. So it's perfect for the multitaskers on calls.
I think just to add here, who's a Zoom user that misses this, or ex-Zoom user that misses this feature? So I think this is probably one of the features that we kept getting about, and Zoom can do that separate window, but also multi-monitor people. I think we had Nick at the beginning said he had 7 monitors or something silly. So you can now put the presentation on a different monitor to the meeting and the participants, which is really good. So I'm excited. Simone, multi-monitor user, are you going to be using that?
Absolutely. Already do. And it's on for default as well for all users, which is great. So good. Next one. This one's actually been around for a while, I feel. It was released in January, but essentially this is also a fantastic one. We actually had it on in the beginning of this call, then we decided to turn it off because we were doing the small talk. But essentially what it allows you to do is to take notes for me automatically, right? So you can trigger it automatically, and it effectively removes the, you know, that administration tax of manual note-taking. And it just means that everyone doesn't need to be worried about, you know, are we taking notes, should we turn it on, or you have a manual note taker, it's automatically turned on if you trigger it, so that everyone stays engaged in the conversation. And for the busy hosts, it's one less thing that they need to remember. So instead of manually toggling over things for every individual session, you can actually start it automatically in the Meet settings. So it's really one of those set and forget solutions. Just means you know it's already taken care of for you. So you don't need to worry about it. So you still have full control though, if you do want to toggle it off mid-meeting, if the conversation turns private, right? But again, just one of those productivity features, so you can enable it from the get-go. Actually, thumbs up, emoji thumbs up, who's already using this? I'm expecting to see a lot Yeah. Great. Good. Next one. Oh, this is something I've been waiting for a little while. But this is one of those really handy changes that you might not think about. But updates to meetings by a delegate now appear in the name of the principal. So what does that mean? It essentially means that for Google Calendar, meeting updates that are made by a delegate. So if you delegate your calendar to a team admin or an executive system, for example, they will now be sent directly in the name of the principal, so the person who actually owns the calendar. Previously, what happened was, while the initial invite looked like it came from the calendar owner, it meant that any follow-up dates or edits or cancellations would then show in the delegate's email, right? Which was a little bit confusing for guests, because they'd be like, "Oh, you know, who's this person? You're not who I expected it to be." So essentially, this update streamlines everything. It makes communication just that bit more consistent and professional by keeping the focus on the primary host, no matter who's actually behind the scenes clicking the save button or update, right? So again, one of those features you might not think about until it's, you know, it's really important and you need to use it. But yeah, so good on Google for making these feature updates a bit more relevant and seamless for everyone in the background. Pablo.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one. Thumbs up if you use Find a Time in Google Calendar. There's actually, Google's got a few different options here. There's like schedule and there's Find a Time. So okay, there's quite a lot of you that find a time. So Find a Time, just so we're all on the same page here, is when you put everyone into the event that you're creating. So you put all the attendees in and you click Find a Time. Now, Google's making this a more AI powered. So you've got the suggested times at the top there, as well as going to appear as a button. And that's going to look through everyone's calendar. It's also going to be able to look through external calendars if they're sharing through Busy, and it's going to suggest times. Now, it did this before, but I don't know if you guys have this feedback. It was a little bit flaky with trying to find good times for everyone. Now, with a bit of AI in the back end here, it's actually really impressive. So if you haven't tried it already, click the suggested times when you're making an event. It's a really, really nice feature. It highlights those pieces that have a clear block as green, but it also now considers things like focus time as an option, but not green, it's amber, which is really helpful, because I know that a lot of people block out their calendars. They're busy, maybe they block out their lunch. But if they've mentioned it as focus time, or they've given the event something that looks like you might be able to do a pass and book over it, it now gives those as options. This is fantastic. This is, honestly, for me, this is the definition of using AI for calendar management. So AI is where you can decipher those things that aren't quite digital, yes or no. Maybe I can put something in there, maybe I can't. So please do give it a go. And it's exciting because it's also impacting another feature too in the same way, which I'll move on to in just a second. So let's take a look. Oh, this is, wait, have I skipped one? No, I haven't. Okay. So to use some, oh no, I think the name's wrong on this one, but you can do that if you like, or I can do it.
Okay, no, I can take it. So use Help Me Schedule in Gmail. So this is kind of similar, but essentially this update to set up a meeting time with multiple guests in an email is aimed at reducing that scheduling friction that we often have. So Gemini analyzes multiple calendars simultaneously, so that you can move on from those long email chains back and forth. You know, does this time work for you, or whatever, to actually being able to confirm meeting bookings in just mere seconds. But it's a big win for, you know, that operational speed, especially when you're coordinating across different teams or with external partners. So there's the Help Me Schedule button that appears, again, which supports multiple guests directly within the Gmail Compose window. So you're keeping it there and not needing to necessarily move back and forth between calendars. It checks the internal availability, and then proposes the best time slots. And then once the recipient clicks a time, the calendar invite is sent to everyone automatically. So just erases that need for jumping back and forth between your inbox and your calendar to find a gap. One thing to note, though, is that while Gemini pulls the initial guest list from the email thread, the host still has the full control, right? So you can still add or remove attendees before sending suggestions. Love it. Mind the gap.
So, I want to just say one thing that makes this very clear, because I got a question the other day about this, which was really a bit confusion. What's the difference between the Help Me schedule that you have previously, or I say today, but you've got this one today, previously to this one? The big difference is that before you could only do it with slots in your calendar. Now the button incorporates all attendees in the email thread, looks at their calendar, even if they're external, as long as they're sharing FreeBusy, and helps you find a time. This is the biggest difference. So I just want to make sure that's crystal clear, because someone the other day was saying to me, well, I thought we already had that. Now it's doing the actual hard work for you, which is really nice.
Yeah. Fantastic feature.
Yeah. For sure. And another fantastic feature, I was waiting for this. I think this is a feature which is more of a sigh of relief than anything else. So I know that people that use other chat applications use this a lot. So I find myself copying and pasting chat messages from like one space into another space and then linking the message so that you can see where it's from, but you can also see the content in the destination space. Well, now you can forward a message. Yes. So it will literally take the contents, the link to the original message, and you can forward it to another space or another chat. And they can see the context of the message, but they can see where it's from as well. I think this is fantastic. It also makes things a lot easier. I don't know if any of you use send to Gmail. I feel like this is a feature that's gotten used. So on messages, you can also click send to Gmail. So if someone forwards you a very important message from a space, like about an event or something, then people that receive that forwarded message can also click send to Gmail, and they've got the email in their Gmail, and then Gmail can also make that into an event, whatever. You can do loads of stuff from there. So it's really adding to that process flow. It's really nice. Thumbs up if you've used the forwarded messages in Google. I think it's available now, so it's been available for a little while. Yeah, brilliant. There you go. I think it's really useful. Some people don't know it's there yet. Again, another one that I recommend if you haven't internally communicated is a good idea to internally communicate. You still get people copying and pasting messages from one place to another. Let them know they can forward now. It's not extremely obvious that it's there. So that's definitely a big win. Good. There you go. You click the continuous messages to me. I just realized the time is on my GIF, so you can see I was up late doing these slides. So what is this? So it's the opposite of what you would expect. Instead of enabling a feature, it's being able to disable a feature. So just a quick show of hands, a thumbs up emojis, if you have Slack or if you have another chat application that isn't Google Chat. Does anyone have those? Yeah, okay, there's a few. I'll forgive you, don't worry. But if you do have those, sometimes the continuous chat in Meet can be frustrating, because if you have, for some reason, have chat turned on as well, or maybe users don't know that it's there, it saves to chat when you have Meet messages. That's a new feature, very recent. We had a lot of feedback from customers that use Slack to say, I need to turn that off because I need the chat messages only to be available during the Meet. They don't have access to Google Chat, so they need to turn that off. So you've got that ability in the admin console now, and it's not forcibly turned off, it's default off. You can actually do this setting per Meet. So in the calendar, before the Meet starts, you can say turn the chat off or turn the chat on. So on those exception cases that you might need to have chat history saved into a chat space or into a chat Google Chat, you can have that on still, but the default can be set by admins. Okay, so just to clarify, one sentence line item, you can set the default chat history in Meet to off, or you can set it to on, and then users can switch it. Or someone send on translation. Am I not understandable?
And this is good.
Let me just send that off.
This is good for those Slack, Slack users as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. All right, so if you need to do that, it is not by default. Admins that have other chat applications that need to turn it off, go ahead and do the default off setting. You need to go into the admin console to do that. Okay, that's actually 23rd of March. You have to wait. You have to wait a few days if it's not available now. Good. Oh, Simone, a very, very important feature.
Emoji reactions. Exactly. I was going to say, give me all the emoji reactions. This is fantastic. One of those small things that make a big difference. So, say goodbye to the, somebody sends you an email and you write back thanks, and, these kind of one-word things. Just do it with an emoji now, the thumbs up, or, duck or chicken or whatever that is, phoenix rising from the ashes emoji. But it's been around for a little while. But yes, emoji reactions in Gmail are now on by default for users. And it's really just about bringing that quick, chat style feel to Gmail. And the emoji energy in your inbox. So it's really easy to just quickly acknowledge a message without adding to the additional email or inbox clutter. So yeah, I mean, of course, if you just prefer to keep things strictly text only, you can toggle this off in the console, but you don't want to miss out on the fun. I just want to double check this though, because for admins, I think it needs to be enabled first, if I'm not mistaken, right, Pablo?
I think that line in the slide is wrong. So
okay, good. That's what I was checking, because I thought it doesn't sound right. I think it's already enabled.
That's
we'll fix that.
Apologies, we'll fix that. But yeah. I believe it's on default, but any of the Devo team Workspace guys on the call, please butt in and correct us. On by default, you can react to emails, and it has been around in the consumer one for a while. So it's now being enabled in the enterprise SKUs. I find this one interesting, Simone. I had different types of feedback about this feature. I think it might even be a generational thing. I think previously this was not very well received, and now I think we're in such a fast-paced, moving, working from home world that actually a quick reaction to an email is actually welcomed. But I'm curious to see what everyone else thinks, if this is a good thing, bad thing. Maybe I'm opening up a very
thumbs up if it's good, thumbs down if it's bad.
The thumbs down is not recorded, so you can react negatively if you want, but I think this may be depending on your work style. Okay, just thumbs up. Okay, interesting.
And for those teams where often when Google are pushing out the updates, not everyone might get it at the same time. So we actually had one team member in our team who didn't have it, who was really upset that they were responding with the emoji reactions in Gmail, but they weren't able to. So
yeah, patience for sure.
Henrik, thank you. So I just saw the comment there that everyone gets a new email with reaction. Should only be the one sending the email that gets the emoji reaction. Okay.
Good. Yes, you're right. Actually, it depends if you have conversation. That's a really good point, actually, Henrik. Really
Conversation view must be on.
Yeah, so if you have conversation view on, it just comes up as a new message in the conversation. If you have it turned off, I believe it sends it as a new email. So yes, there's a whole new message that gets received. So caution on that one. Definitely much more useful and nicer if you have conversation view on. I'm also going to raise an eyebrow. Who the hell doesn't have conversation view on these days? Come speak to me, because it's fantastic. But this is also one of the reasons that we err on the side of caution here as well. Yeah, it will be received. So Andrea said as well, for Bill's message, which is it's basically a whole message that gets migrated over. So it'll be received as a new message with an emoji in it. So that's how it will be migrated as well.
Good. All right. So leaving the communication tools aside for the moment, moving into the collaboration tools with forms. So you can now automatically stop collecting responses in forms, which is fantastic. Say goodbye to the manual toggling of forms off on midnight. So form editors can now set their forms to stop accepting responses automatically based on a specific date and time or a maximum response count. Massive win for those time-sensitive registrations, or if you have limited seat events, you know, or surveys where you might only be collecting a certain sample size. But important to note as well that the automated closing feature is off by default. So you just need to turn on, adjust it in the settings after publishing your form to set those limits, okay? But yeah, a good win for forms, and that this can be preset now. Also on the forms, we have another update, is that Google is automatically upgrading all forms with what they call granular sharing controls, right? So just like you can share a Google Doc, for example, you can now restrict who can respond to a form to specific individuals. So this just helps you, you know, be able to target your audiences essentially, and it ensures that any sensitive internal surveys stay internal and only the right people have you know, access or the keys to submit data. So it gives you just a little bit more control over your data collection and who it's being shared with, and it's on by default for all users in Google Workspace. Okay. I'm just seeing a comment from Oscar as well. What would be even better is to be able to remove certain response options based on the number of answers to that response in forms.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're going to see this, like, forms has had lots of feature updates, especially with AI. And I think as we go forward, you're probably going to see more of that kind of stuff going forward. It's slowly evolving, and rightfully so because it's quite user impacting. So Oscar, I totally agree with you. I'd love to see the actual content of the form change according to responses and other maybe environmental factors of a form. So yeah, watch this space. Who knows? We could see that quite soon. We could see even more advanced features coming soon. And I'll do a little sneak as well. Sneak preview is that you could probably do something like that with Studio, so Workspace Studio. You could probably do, you know, turn off the form once you have set responses, or you could even do something like add a question or prompts to add a question. So you can ask the creator to add a question. So Studio can be a little bit of a workaround for some of those for now. But yeah, we'll definitely see forms get more features like that. Yeah,
good stuff. Okay.
Flow. So I'm going to be honest, I tried to set up a demo for this, but I ended up going down some really big rabbit holes because I'm not a video editor. But thumbs up who has used Flow before. Now, I need to give some context here. Google's got great etiquette of naming conventions and naming services. Sarcasm definitely intended. So I'm not talking about flows that is now known as Studio in Google Workspace. That is not what this is about. This is regarding the video editing tool, the one that it's been around for a little bit now. Google's making it into an official service. So Flow allows you to create lengthy AI-generated videos with objects and items that you want to place in the video. So the GIF you can see here is a taxi, a jellyfish, and a back seat of a car with a zebra print. So you can put those kinds of images together, describe the scene, and Flows can AI produce that. I don't know, any social media addicts, TikTokers, you've seen a lot of what's it called, AI slop, probably from these kinds of things. There are benefits and there are obviously other videos that are produced, but just please be careful with this. So it's turned on by default as an additional service, just like Maps or just like any of the other Google services that aren't core Google Workspace services. But as an administrator, you can now toggle that service on or off, just like you would with YouTube, Maps, any of those other services. However, there is something that you need to be cautious with, is that flows can consume tokens very fast. It is a heavyweight video AI generation tool. So for you guys that have a business to run with potential users that might want to use their pro license to make videos, just caution. The tokens get used quickly, and then your users might be out of tokens very fast in their account. It is extremely useful for marketing. We have seen some amazing feedback for this product. I'm going to segue, and Emma's going to correct me if I'm wrong at some point, but there is another marketing video where our very good media editor, Lillian, has done some amazing webinars on how to use this beneficially in your business for making content and marketing. I strongly suggest looking that up if it's something that's of interest to you guys. It's a big service. It's not to be taken lightly. It is very powerful, and it does lots of very, very good stuff. Make sure you think about who in your business needs it and uses it. Thumbs up if you used it before. And I will also welcome anyone in the chat to describe any interesting use cases. I used it during New Year to show my mother-in-law putting fireworks in my front garden when she wasn't, and it was a bit of a joke internally in the house. But yeah, oh Max, you're using it right now. Stop! You're going to go down a rabbit hole. Come back. Listen to us first. It is really fun to play with.
Or watch the YouTube link that Emma has shared in the chat. So that's you were talking about the session that our marketing guru Lillian ran. So it's there for those of you who want to watch it as well.
I'd say entirely that whole marketing persona in your business can be super powered with this product. So definitely go and take a look at that link. Let us know if you want to understand how you can use it. Google Gemini Ultra is a SKU which is basically designed for this tool and to be used for this tool. Good. Like I said, I was going to go into a demo, but I could spend ages in a demo for this. We're not doing that today.
All right, moving on then. Wait, did we just? Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. Notebook. Okay, great. Thumbs up if you've used a Notebook LM as a source for your Gemini prompt. Okay, I would expect hundreds of thumbs up. This is fantastic. Hey, while I'm explaining this for those that maybe don't know Notebook LM very well, in the chat, feel free to share some of your best notebooks. So everyone has their best notebook. Like everyone has the 1 or 2 notebooks they're constantly using. If you have one of those, do a light description of what that is in the chat, please, because I'd love to hear. So Notebook LM, separate service, so notebooklm.google.com, I believe. And for those of you, so anyone, I'm not going to ask actually, so I'll just really quickly go over. Notebook LM is a separate service. I can show you what that looks like. And that service allows you to put lots of information about a topic into a notebook, and then you can ask that notebook questions on that topic. So you're probably thinking, what would I use that for? Some examples I've used it for, I've put every single user manual for all of my devices in my home into one notebook. The kitchen manual, the microwave manual, the fancy toilet manual, all of those into one Notebook LM. And then every time we have a power cut, we don't know how to reset the clocks on the microwave and the oven. We ask Notebook LM, how do I change the time on each of my devices? And it goes through each of the manuals, it takes out the context I need, and it gives it to me in one prompt. I have another Notebook LM for my mother's medical history. So she's going through lots of tests at the moment. So I've got all the blood tests and everything into one Notebook LM. The doctor asks me, has she had a thyroid check recently? Asks the Notebook LM, it tells me when she had those checks and what the results were. So these are just examples of Notebook LMs. In the workplace, it's more about processes. Maybe there's a HR Notebook LM for policies on expenses. So you can use those notebooks and make those notebooks, and then you can ground your prompts and your gems by connecting to those notebooks. So yes, you can. So there's a question here. Can you have multiple elements that are linked? So notebook elements, yes. So you can, and you can select multiple notebooks. You know what? I'm just very tempted to do a demo. It will take a few seconds, I promise. Don't tell me off, guys. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go into demo. Just see my colleagues going, no, we don't have time, Pablo. I'll do it anyway. Right, let's go into it. I've got my notebook, my Gemini here. So you can see Gemini, everyone should know this. And then you've got the tools here, and you've got the plus. If you click the plus icon, you can click Notebook LM, and that's going to show you the notebooks you can add. So I've got a competitor's wine collection, preventing food fraud in the UK industry, and I can select the notebooks I want. Just to give you a little bit of background, these notebooks have got a lot of information in them. That one's not so much. And you can see that they're grounded in just that information that's been put in there. So I'll select those, and then I can ask a question about, does wine come under the food law? And now it's going to use both of those notebook LMs to understand the food law, and then it's also going to look at the wine notebook LM to see what wines may be covered in there. And so you're using the notebook LMs as your grounding for Gemini. Good, I'm going to stop. That was very, see, I just told you it would be quick. I was quick. Although I've lost control of the slides there, by doing that.
I'll give it back to you. And while I'm doing that, there are some questions, Pablo, that could be good to answer now in the chat. So specifically, can you have multiple LMs that are linked? Comments, I think.
Notebook for GAM7, consolidating all MD files. Okay. Bill, you are going to go down the techie route. I'm going to take that one offline. Sorry, Bill. That's not for here, but a very good question about GitHub repos. But we'll talk about that later. Yes, that's the right emoji for Bill. I use price list of medicines in another country, got hold of official price list and then translate to English for me. That's brilliant. That's an awesome use case. Thank you. You could have multiple unconstructed data files for HR data or device data and ask questions. Exactly. That's another fantastic use case. So these are mostly use cases, which is great, by the way. There was no online checker, so that was okay, perfect. There you go. So guys, very, very powerful, not just for a prompt, but a gem. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a really good gem I made, not business related. I have a notebook LM for each one of my family members. Don't judge me. My wife has a notebook LM. My two kids each have a notebook LM, what their allergies are, what their likes, dislikes, shoe size, everything's in there. And so when we go on holiday, I just put the two notebooks into my prompt and I ask, what is a good holiday destination for these kids? And they know its age, everything is in there. Just to give you a snippet of an example. Now, maybe I can make a gem. So if you make a gem and say, actually, it's my holiday finding gem, I can put the notebooks for those three family members in there and context of myself, and then ask it to find the best holidays out of this list of holidays. So think about how you can utilize the notebooks into things like gems as well. Super powerful stuff. I'm going to talk about this all day if I don't stop, so I'm going to.
Shall we go to the next one then?
Please do it. I like this one. Okay. I was making silly gifts last night, and this was one of them. So on that basis, we have another yet very powerful feature coming to Gemini.google.com, which is the ability to use Google Chat as a source for information. So in the example I've given here, I said check Google Chat for all the city memes I've sent to Simone. So you can do the @chat, but I actually like this a lot more for a different reason. So for any of you, so thumbs up if you come back from holiday from a week off and you've got like 5,000 unread emails, you've got like 4,000 unread chats, if you manage to stay away from your chat, and you think, oh my goodness, how am I going to look through all of this and prioritize it? Quick cheat, deep research. You can turn on which services deep research is grounded on. And yeah, Bill, but that's because you're American. These holidays are definitely taken on this side of the. If you do deep research, you can click Gmail, you can click chat, And you can tell it, I only want you to look at my chat, my Gmail, my Drive, and you can take off Google search, and you can do a deep research, and you can say, prioritize anything that's critical for me to look at while I was away, and then draft responses to some of those messages, right? And deep research is going to not deep research the web, it's going to deep research into your chat, your Gmail, come back to you and help you prioritize. This is a fantastic use case of coming back from holiday and not feeling the anxiety of trying to get through everything very quickly. It's not going to fix everything, by the way. This isn't a godsend fix, but it is definitely going to help. So chat is now there available for you to use with Gemini.google.com. So make sure you turn on the service. So I think it's by individual users as well. To go into the Gemini settings, the bottom left is a cog, and you've got your services. Make sure it's turned on there as well. It may not be turned on by default. Good.
I'm just going to take a question here that now, because it's in relation to this, but it's on Notebook that came in the chat from Nicole Brickup. Does Gemini rely exclusively on the provided Notebook sources, or does it also use information from the internet when answering questions? It's a really good question.
It's a fantastic question. And there's different ways of approaching depending on what your expectation is. So if you have a question on a topic in a notebook, you ask the notebook. So you go to Notebook LM, you open the UI where that notebook is based, and you ask the chat column in the notebook about the content in that notebook. So that's grounded only on that source content. It will make an educated assumption, but it will very clearly tell you if it's missing information. It'll say, this isn't in the notebook, but in general, this is what happens. So you'll see that in the notebook. If you use Gemini, it's a bit looser in terms of its grounding. So you're giving it an option to look at Notebook, not exclusively look at Notebook if you're using Gemini.google.com. So it's very likely to use whatever the context you put as your prompt to use that notebook, but it's not exclusive. And it may use its LLM, large language model knowledge in there as well. And then if you use something like deep research and you put the notebook, you've got Google search also turned on, then yes, it's going to look at just the notebook, but everything else on the web as well. So there's 3 different approaches depending on how narrow focused you want your prompt. That's really important, Nicole, in terms of how you approach that. Good. These are fantastic questions. Good. I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
If that's okay. To you. Oh, yes, this is also really exciting. Go ahead.
Listening to audio summaries in Google Docs. And this is a fantastic update, but we just also want to make the distinction that this is not to be confused with audio read aloud, which is an accessibility feature, right? That's been around for a while. So just to make that distinction, this is audio summaries in Google Docs, which gives you that podcast style summary. But for anyone who's needing to digest information on the go, audio summaries in Google Docs is a fantastic addition. So Gemini can now generate that natural sounding verbal, summary or synopsis of your document, even across if you have multiple tabs, for example, but it just means that you're able to catch up on meeting notes or long reports in, just a few minutes. So it's kind of bringing that Notebook LM feel as well into it, but you can do it directly in the doc. So you can even personalize the experience of the narrator for different profiles. So you can have it sound, different based on to kind of fit your vibe, and also playback speed as well. I'm going to try and demo this because I haven't tried it myself yet, but in a doc, it's actually found under the tools menu. So let me just see if I go here. I'm just going to see if what you can see. Yep. Okay, good. All right, so let's give it a go. So here up in tools, and it's highlighted here. It says already new. So go down to audio, new. I'm just going to press listen to document summary. oh, there's not enough content to generate audio. And as Pablo said earlier on, you know, this is live. We're doing it for the first time. I'm just going to try the other one. So audio, listen to this tab.
Project Alpha, Q1 Global Expansion Status Report. Date, March 19th, 2026. Status, On Track Green Circle owner Alex Smith, Global IT Strategy 1. Executive Summary. The migration of our core infrastructure to the Titan Cloud environment is 85% complete. We are currently ahead of schedule for the EMEA rollout, though APAC regions are seeing minor delays due to local data residency compliance checks. Our goal is to have all regions live by the end of Q2.
Project Alpha, Q1 Global Expansion Status Report. Date, March 19th, 2026. Status, On Track Green.
So just to show you the, you know, a few different features with that as well. You can change the narrator to have a different narration style and playback speed as well. But again, just, you know, allowing you that quick catch up on a long document, you know, while you're doing another task, it can be really helpful.
I just want to,
yeah, go ahead.
So while we get back to the slides. So exactly what Simone's just showed is the audio description, the read aloud. It's literally word by word. But I don't know if you guys do this, but I sometimes just make a notebook with one document, and then I ask it to generate a podcast conversation of that one document. You don't have to do that anymore with audio summaries. That's the key takeaway of this, right? Stop making notebooks with one document for that podcast thing. I when I saw this, I got so excited because I don't have to keep making that notebook LM, putting that one document in, asking it to generate, come back. It just does it, and it does it really fast on one document, which is really nice. It's also why, Simon, you got that error, because you do need a heavy amount of content for two people to have a discussion on what is in the document, right? So that's probably why you got the error there.
Yeah. But yeah, it gives you the two features, so you can choose what works for you. And again, so you're staying in the one screen, you're not having to, you know, go into an additional tool and create something. All right, I know we're running out of time here, so I'm going to jump into the next one. But essentially, avatars in Google Vids is now powered by VO 3.1. And this is a huge leap forward, essentially, for video creation within the Google Vids avatars, because it just means that you're now with VO 3.1, they're using Google's most advanced video generation model. While it might sound like a minor tweak, it's actually a huge overhaul that makes the AI avatars that are being used significantly more realistic, right? So they have the smoother lip syncing, more natural expressions, those sort of things. And it just kind of gives that more high quality impact to your videos. It also, I'm just thinking, you know, it may also means you don't need to be camera ready. So if you're using something like this, you know, it just gives you you can use a consistent approach to, for example, your training videos, but just it brings that professional level of engaging content for any the thing that you're creating for your business. Have you used this, Pablo? It's been around, I think it's been around for a while.
It's actually gotten a lot better and a lot more avatars, but really flawless. It looks pretty real. And it's really nice if you don't like looking at your own face in videos. That's when I use it. But it is really, and there's cartoon ones now as well, make it a little bit more informal, but it's definitely worth trying. It's one of those features that you have to try to realize its benefit. So give it a go. If you do lots of training videos and things, really good.
Exactly. All right. I know you've got a quick demo for this as well, so.
I do. I'm wondering how quick it's going to be. I'm not sure we're going to make it in time, but let's try. So thumbs up. Who's used Nano Banana 2? Okay, a few of you. Now I'm going to ask a question. Don't be shy. There's a lot of them. I would probably put my thumbs up at this one. Thumbs up if you didn't know you were using Nano Banana 2 or Nano Banana 1. Oh, come on, I'll put my thumb up. I had no idea. Okay. What is it? What's the difference? I don't know if you guys, but I should have showed this picture. I used Nano Banana to make my daughter's birthday invite. She was 3 years old when we made them, and it said welcome to Stevie's birthday party. And when you put text previously with Nano Banana 1, the old one, it would screw up. And so and the invite my daughter made, it said abuse welcome on the invite, which was not ideal. So it totally screwed up on the writing. The amount of times we tried to remake it, and it was sad because my daughter really wanted to use it, but we didn't use it in the end. The text just wasn't coming out. Well, I can now tell you that with Nano Banana 2, this is fascinating. It now does architectural diagrams. It will do decision-making flows. It will do text. It will rewrite posters. Take a picture with your phone of a poster, ask it to change the text to something else, and it will do that. It is now very good with text and distinguishing flows, architect diagrams, all those kinds of things. And it's also really good at understanding corrections made in existing pictures, which is really good. Now, I was going to try, I don't know if we can still do it. Should we still do it? Should we try? Let's see if this works. Right. Bear with me. I'm going to switch to my demo screen. I'm going to need you guys to help me with this one, if that's okay. So if you could, the topic is, so thumbs up if you are British English speaking, thumbs up if you are not American. And there's Americans on this call, not Americans. Okay. So I think we need, sometimes we get new people that start our Devo team, and they're not from England or from the UK, but they speak fluent English. And there's some translations that are often missed. And so what I need to do here is I need to give them a cheat sheet of how to understand the British. So what I'm going to do here, I'm British, I'm allowed to do this, don't get annoyed. I'm going to do a little bit of a cheat sheet. So the first thing you notice when you create an image these days is this new tile option comes up. So you can actually do a bit of a hand as to how to get started. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a cheat sheet on what the British mean when they say the word interesting. I don't know, does anyone know where I'm going with this? And when they say the word interesting? So let's do this, right? So I need your help here. So just give me a minute, I'm going to transcribe. Generate a decision-making flow chart that will define what is meant when a British person says the word interesting. For starts, if the person is talking about a piece of work that a teammate has made, then that is a negative thing. However, if the British person is talking about a film or a book, then you need to decipher this depending on their tone. If it's talking about something that their child has made in their nursery or kindergarten, then it's a positive thing. Please create a flow diagram for people to understand what is meant by the word interesting. Right. Hopefully the joke isn't lost and Nano Banana understands the joke too. Thumbs up if you've been caught by the word interesting by a British person. So what it's going to do is it's going to take what I've said here and in terms of what the decisions are and hopefully make a decision flow. What I really like about Nano Banana 2 is it understands the context. So I expect it to give me like British flags or something like that. Oh, maybe not quite as much. And there we go. Look, I've literally made this in seconds. Literally with Nano Banana, I've got now the ability to do a flow with a decision making based on a very quick prompt. Can you imagine if you give it a document with an architectural diagram of what is decision making? I'm going to be honest. I now go for a walk with my Pixel recorder and transcribe the complex architecture of a customer, and then I put it into Nano Banana and I get it to create the architectural diagram. This is a huge difference between the Nano Banana we had before. Great.
This is fantastic, Pablo.
Yeah, did you like that?
I did, because it's very interesting. Yeah. How do you interpret that nuance?
Exactly. I had a Dutch manager, and he didn't know that for the 4 years I was working with him until I explained it to him. So I'll stop presenting there. Good. Thumbs up if you're going to use Nano Banana for more advanced things now. Good. I'd like to see that. It's great. We're actually on time. We'll give you another minute or two of our time if you have burning questions, but we're going to close up there, and I'm going to say thank you and hand to Simone here to close up.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Yep, that concludes the session. It is recorded, transcribed. We will also be sharing the slides in the next day or so. We did have a question from Nick. Can we use this as user training? Yes, you can. So feel free to do that. These features are already available. But yeah, we appreciate you joining and look forward to your early registration for the next one on the 28th of May. But enjoy your lunch and the rest of the afternoon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.